You just heard, what you just saw and heard. Listen to this.
Now, I predicted and said I saw a great woman stand up, beautiful looking, dressed in real highly royal like purple, dressed in real highly royal like purple, dressed in real highly royal like purple. And I got little parentheses down here. She was a great ruler in the United States, perhaps the Catholic Church. A woman, some woman. I don't know it'll be the Catholic Church. I don't know. I can't say. The only thing I seen the woman. That was all. But this is a woman's nation. This nation is number 13 in prophecy. She's got 13 stripes, 13 stars. She's started with 13 colonists, 13, 13, everything's 13. It appears in the 13th chapter of Revelations even. She's 13 and she's a woman nation. Thus saith the Lord, there'll be a woman ruling for the end. She'll either be president, vice president, or it'll be the Catholic Church as a woman. I've seen her a great woman. The nation bowed to her. It'll be one before the end time. These three curtains, I say this in the name of the Lord, don't you forget it. There's an iron curtain, a bamboo curtain, and a purple curtain. Watch that purple curtain. Amen. Keep your eye on that. Amen. Oh my, how we see now the Antichrist beginning to unfold itself, taking a hold in the nation. Thus saith the Lord. Write it down and find out, you young people, see if it happens. If it isn't, I'm a false prophet.
Interesting. Did you hear what he said? He described the lady that will become, he said, she will either be president or vice president. All right? And described her in purple. Now, at the inauguration, Kamala Harris wore purple. How could William Branham in the 60s help her prepare to wear purple on that day? And he says, this will happen before the end time. Then he said to the young people, watch and see. He said, if it doesn't happen, then I'm a false prophet. He said to the young people, because he knew it will happen in their days. They're the ones who will see it. And that's exactly what has happened.
Today, I am going to share with us about how to contend with God over negative prophecies until they're changed. We just witnessed history made when Donald Trump emerged victorious in the just-ended 2024 American election. He won over Kamala Harris. In my opinion, it was Kamala Harris who, according to the prophetic calendar concerning America, was supposed to be president. How do I know that? Because there is a prophecy about America concerning that. The late Pastor William Branham gave a prophecy decades ago about how a woman would become the vice president and or the president of America, and in her era, promote any possible abominable policy. Pastor William Branham went ahead to describe the color of the dress this woman would be wearing. Purple. Then in 2020, when Joe Biden was being sworn into office as the 46th president of the United States of America, his vice, Kamala Harris, was wearing purple. How did Pastor Branham know this? The Holy Spirit of the Lord Jesus Christ revealed it to him. That's why. Now here is the big question. Why didn't the prophecy come to pass fully? Why did it come to pass only partially when Kamala became the vice president, but failed to fully come to pass in her becoming the president? I have an idea why. It failed to fully come to pass because many Christians in America and around the world began to pray and intercede to God for a change. Any negative prophecy concerning a nation, if the corporate church, Christians around the world, will stand in agreement in prayer, God can change it. And that is exactly what happened to America when God intervened by not allowing Kamala Harris to be elected president, just as the prophecy predicted.
You know what? You know what? We should be emotional. We should be upset. We should be scared and outraged. We should. Our pain matters. We matter. You matter. Your voice and your vote matters.
I predicted a month ago you'd win this thing, and if you blow it, it's going to make me look bad. Yeah. I've got a really good prediction record, so please don't fuck this up.
A few moments later.
Thank you all. Thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you. So let me say, and I love you back. And I love you back. So let me say, my heart is full today. My heart is full today, full of gratitude for the trust you have placed in me, full of love for our country, and full of resolve. The outcome of this election is not what we wanted, not what we fought for, not what we voted for, but hear me when I say, the light of America's promise will always burn bright. As long as we never give up, and as long as we keep fighting. Look, I am so proud of the race we ran, and the way we ran it, Over the 107 days of this campaign, we have been intentional about building community and building coalitions, bringing people together from every walk of life and background, united by love of country with enthusiasm and joy in our fight for America's future. And we did it with the knowledge that we all have so much more in common than what separates us. Now, I know folks are feeling and experiencing a range of emotions right now. I get it. But we must accept the results of this election. Earlier today, I spoke with President-elect Trump and congratulated him on his victory. I also told him that we will help him and his team with their transition, and that we will engage in a peaceful transfer of power. A fundamental principle of American democracy is that when we lose an election, we accept the results. That principle, as much as any other, distinguishes democracy from monarchy or tyranny. And anyone who seeks the public trust must honor it. At the same time, in our nation, we owe loyalty not to a president or a party, but to the Constitution of the United States. And loyalty to our conscience and to our God. My allegiance to all three is why I am here to say, while I concede this election, I do not concede the fight that fueled this campaign. To the young people who are watching, it is okay to feel sad and disappointed, but please know it's going to be okay. On the campaign, I would often say, when we fight, we win. But here's the thing. Sometimes the fight takes a while. That doesn't mean we won't win. The important thing is don't ever give up. Don't ever stop trying to make the world a better place. You have power. And don't you ever listen when anyone tells you something is impossible because it has never been done before. You have the capacity to do extraordinary good in the world. And so to everyone who is watching, do not despair. This is not a time to throw up our hands. This is a time to roll up our sleeves. And I'll close with this. There's an adage an historian once called a law of history, true of every society across the ages. The adage is, only when it is dark enough can you see the stars. I know many people feel like we are entering a dark time, but for the benefit of us all, I hope that is not the case. But here's the thing, America, if it is, let us fill the sky with the light of a brilliant, brilliant billion of stars. The light of optimism, of faith, of truth, and service. And may that work guide us, even in the face of setbacks, toward the extraordinary promise of the United States of America. I thank you all. May God bless you, and may God bless the United States of America. I thank you all.
Yo, I'm scared to go to sleep. I might wake up a motherfucking slave.
I'm sorry. No! Why?
This is all prank, right? Like we're just gonna wake up tomorrow morning and everything's gonna go back to the way it'll be a psych. It'll be like a really bad dream, and none of.
How did we get here? How did we get here? What in the Alice in Wonderland nightmares is going on right now?
All I can say is how fucking dare you.
If you voted for that man, if you voted for anybody other than Kamala and you live in one of the states that it was, close, or if you didn't vote, fuck you.
Senate race. It's not gonna happen. Go Kamala.
I chose family, I chose women, I chose America. I love you.
How the fuck is this still happening? All I've ever known politically is hatred.
I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done with you. I'm done with you and your mother and your sister. I'm just done with all of this.
I'm sorry to all my friends who are Trump supporters. But y'all don't understand how scared of this man I am.
If this guy does end up winning again, all of the people who voted for him will be like happy and they'll just be celebrating. And everyone who feels threatened by him is fucking scared. Like we're scared for our lives, we're scared for our friends.
How dare you put this man into office for another 4 years, knowing damn well what it means for our country, what it means for us as a people.
To know that there is that much ignorance and that much hate in this country, it's so terrifying. It's so terrifying.
How the fuck are we back in this same situation again? Who the fuck is voting for him? Genuinely.
Fuck you. I don't want to hear about how shitty your life gets under his policies. Live with that decision. Sit with it. Let it make you uncomfortable. Fuck you.
Someone will ask, but how can man change God's will and plan? Well, just look at the Adam and Eve story in the Garden of Eden, in the book of Genesis. It wasn't God's will and plan for them to eat the forbidden fruit and die, but they did it because of man's free will. There are 3 types of wills that rule the earth: God's will, man's will, and Satan's will. God's will and Satan's will are 2 opposite poles, but man's will is in the middle sort of. Not only is man's will not sufficiently strong within itself to do right always, it is innately almost incapable of doing good. Man's will therefore looks to the two poles for strength and guidance, the pole of God's will or the pole of Satan's will. The direction in which man yields his will, God, or Satan's, man goes that direction. So through the cooperation of the will of man, either God or Satan can reign or lead at any point in time. Just as it is true for individuals, so it is true for nations and civilizations. Citizens of any country determine the direction and the speed of that country, right or wrong, through their self-determining wills. But they don't determine the direction of the country with their wills in isolation. Either they're backed by God's will, or they are backed by Satan's will. Whether they know it or not is irrelevant. The will of Satan is the force for evil, moral decadence, darkness, war, and bloodshed. The will of God is the force for goodness, light, tranquility and peace, happiness, tolerance, and decency. Therefore, had Christians around the world not prayed for God's will to be done in America, men's will would have prevailed, and that was for Kamala Harris to be president so she could advance the cause of wars and bloodsheds, abortion, transgender sex operations, and all the things that are abominable to God. Trump and the Republican Party are in no way perfect, but they are better option than Kamala Harris and the Democrat Party. Many Christians around the world prayed and fasted for America and for Donald Trump. God bless them all. Through their prayer and intercessions, God's will has prevailed. That is why God permitted Trump to pass through all the trials and assassination attempts.
Would you believe me if I told you that the assassination attempt on President Trump's life was actually prophesied in great detail months ago? Back in March, this guy named Brandon Biggs actually prophesied in some detail the events that just transpired not even just 24 hours ago. Let's go ahead and pull up this clip from Brandon Biggs and hear what he's got to say here.
All throughout America, all throughout, and I saw Trump rising up, and then I saw an attempt on his life. This bullet flew by his ear, and it came so close to his head that it busted his eardrum. And I saw he fell to his knees during this time frame, and he started worshiping the Lord. He got radically born again during this time frame. I'm talking, people say he's saved now, but he becomes really on fire for Jesus, for what I saw coming. And then I saw people interceding when I saw him winning the presidency through great. The Lord showed me it would go clear into the summer. Great persecution would come on him through the judges and through the law and all these people trying to sue him and all this stuff. But there would be a stop to it, and there things would start to break free come toward the fall. And then I saw him winning the election through the Patriots coming out and voting. And
I don't know any president so robust and resilient as Donald Trump is. I know no president alive who has passed through hell for the love of his country as Donald Trump has. I believe God allowed this to happen so that those whose hearts were hardened towards him will get a change of mind. God intervened by causing Trump to go through the hell he went through to win sympathy of many. Another groundbreaking thing that God did to change the cause of the American election for his will to prevail was to move Elon Musk to buy Twitter to promote free speech. Our generation today may not fully comprehend and appreciate the weight of Elon's move in buying Twitter to promote free speech. Only posterity can testify. So yes, God intervened by moving billionaires, such as Elon Musk, and many more good people to take their rightful places in strategic positions of society, just so that the pendulum of God's will could swing to the rightful direction. Any negative prophecy about your life and your country. If it's about your life as an individual, prayer and fasting can help change it. But if it's about society and nation, then the prayer and intercession has to be cooperate. It will take something more than you to move the hand of evil backward for society and nations. We cannot do it alone. Oh, I take it back. We can do it alone, but it will for certain not be with God nor in the direction of his will. And if it's not with God nor his direction, then it's surely with the devil and his path. So let's cry out to God in prayer, and let's invite friends and partners in intercession, and then call upon God on our knees. He will hear and answer. His word assures us in 2 Chronicles 7 verse 14 that, if my people, who are called by my name, will humble themselves and pray and seek my face and turn from their wicked ways, then I will hear from heaven, and I will forgive their sin and will heal their land. God didn't create a sick land, nor did he cause the land to be. So what or who made the land sick? It is man's will in connivance with Satan's will. Man's will abandoned God's will, and so the land became sick. But the good news is that God says, I am still here. My address hasn't changed. If only you will call upon me, I will come down and heal the land. If man could heal the land, man wouldn't call God. And if Satan could heal the land, I am sure man will go to Satan. But thank God that neither man nor Satan can heal the land, even though both cause the sickness of it. That is why man will always need God. And a society that will be so sophisticated and enlightened to think that they would not need God will not survive. And that's what almost happened to America. Only God can heal sick lands and sick nations. But he cannot force his will on man. He has to be called. He has to be invited. That's the only way he can intervene. And that is through prayer and intercession. And sometimes it will take more than once in calling on God. Sometimes it will take days, weeks, months, or even years. But irrespective of the duration, just keep calling him in faith and full assurance in the light of the abundant promises in his word. And he will come through with healing in his wings. God bless you.
But we had no wars. They said, he will start a war. I'm not going to start a war. I'm going to stop wars. But this is also a massive victory for democracy and for freedom. Together we're going to unlock America's glorious destiny. We're going to achieve the most incredible future for our people. Yesterday, as I stood at my last stop on the campaign trail, I'll never be doing a rally again. Can you believe it? I think we've done 900 rallies approximately from the, can you imagine? 901, something, a lot of rallies. And it was sad. Everybody was sad. Many people, I said, this is our last rally. But now we're going on to something that's far more important, because the rallies were used for us to be put in this position where we can really help our country. That's what we're going to do.
So, how you feel? I'll start.